Okay, YouTube, this would be video 5. I've been working on my truck, sitting right over there. Oh, it's been about a month now since I started doing those videos on the F150 winch mount for my Badlands 12,000 pound winch for behind the bumper mount, which there were apparently no mounting solutions. I looked and looked for 6 months. I think I told you guys before I ever did this, I had shoulder surgery during the summer, so I really couldn't do anything until the fall. And so researching around, if you want to, I did find one, but the guy didn't guarantee it. It was at a Jeep shop. Warren does manufacture a solution. It's $1,000. It's a complete bumper. It costs $1,000 that might, he told me, might fit an 06, 07, or 08 F150 to put a behind the bumper winch. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it yourself by hand like I did. And again, what I did was I bought a piece of C-channel, C8. It was actually 5/8 of an inch thick, not a ½ an inch thick, like I told you to begin with. And I've completed everything on the truck except for filling in that plastic piece where I said I was going to use this piece of diamond plate, which as you can see is right there. It's pretty. You can see my reflection in it actually. It's nice and shiny. I'm not a sheet metal man. It's going to take me some time to do this because there's some complicated bends in it that I'm going to have to do. And there's, it's just going to be a little tricky for me because I've never done anything like that. I've done other fabrication kind of work, but there you have it. I'm going to turn it sideways here. As you can see, I still have this part of the plastic piece cut out. You can see the winch. I had to cut a big chunk out of the bumper. I actually should have measured from the inside here to the side. I got about a ½ inch difference between this right here and here because I measured from the bumper mounts on the inside rather than from this prefabricated factory hole. But it's in there, man. It works. And I took the time to put dielectric grease on everything that I did, so everything will stay waterproof if I get into a hole. I actually haven't put, if you look in here real close, right there, it's my hood release mount or latch handle. I've actually got it velcroed or zip tied to one of the wires right now so I can get the hood open. And I am actually going to have to grind just a little bit on this section of the bottom side of the grill because it just barely, it might be a millimeter worth of contact on the top of that control box for the winch. So as you know, when you pull your hood release latch, you should hear it pop. Well, it doesn't pop, and the hood does not pop up. Although when I go out there after I pull the hood release latch on the inside of the truck in the cab and go out there and move the release latch there in the front of the truck, the hood comes up. So it is released from the inside, but I'm not hearing that pop, and it's not springing up. So I got to take care of that. Just a little bit of very fine sanding or very fine grinding. Like I said, maybe a millimeter worth, 2 millimeters worth. It's nothing. And like I said, there's the truck. Doesn't look too bad. Actually, I think as it sits, it looks pretty good. The That plastic piece there, that fairing, is very stable. When I cut the bumper, it got it was wiggly. It would twist and wobble back and forth. But now that I've got it bolted on there, in that single one bolt spot, the original bolt holes that I pointed out to you in earlier videos, it is on there tight. I'm still going to probably get up underneath there and find another spot and bolt that on there just to get it a little bit more security. I'm not real happy with how it's lined up from side to side. If you look at it real close, right there, the bumper's a little bit out to the too far to the right, and over here it is more or less even. So I need to get somebody to help me and just probably put their knee in right here and push in while I have that bolt loosed up, and I can tighten it up to get that pulled in. Otherwise I'll have to loosen up both of them while somebody is standing out looking at it to get them even, and then it'll be even on both sides. But like I said, everything is operational. I put dielectric grease on all my connections to make sure if I got in some water that everything would still be operational. The thing that I didn't mention about when I went to Harbor Freight about the pendant, the manager was very gracious. I mean, very, very gracious. And he gave me the wireless remote control. And so I have to find myself a spot to, I think I'm probably just going to Velcro it. I've got enough room down in here to the left side, I believe, where I can just Velcro that remote control box and just keep the button inside the cab. And it's about the size of a garage door opener, a remote control. And it's done, man. I don't know if I'll add another video to this or not. Maybe if I use it the first time just to show you the strength of the fab that I did. But there she is. 2007 F150 behind the bumper winch mount with a C8 5/8 inch thick steel plate with a 2-inch web, and it's in between the frame rails using grade 8 hardware, both 7/16 in the front of the two places that I was showing you where I drilled holes through the frame, and that original two bumper mounts at 7/16 thick hardware, grade 8, and those 7/8 inch diameter 10-inch long bolts are all grade 8 hardware. So automotive grade hardware is grade 5. So I went with harder stuff. So I actually should be able to hang this truck with that mount from that cable quite easily without causing any damage the way I've got that thing in there. So I should be able to yank and nothing's going to bend or twist or do anything. But if I do any more updates, I will let you know. And only way I could have did this if it wasn't the skills that the good Lord had given me, folks. Y'all keep that in mind. I might do a little bit more of that, speaking about that subject here in the future. I had a YouTube channel talking about it before, and I lost that email. It got hacked, and actually didn't get hacked. It got lost because of, I live in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Bell just kind of shut it off for some reason. Bill was paid and everything. Cincinnati Bell with their email when they had it was horrible. But anyways, y'all have a great day. And if you try to build or if you want to put a behind the bumper winch on your 2006, 7, or 8 F-150, Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because you can, because it's right there. And it works. Have a good day, YouTubers. Later.